Good morning.
And we're off on day 49.
Yeah.
So let's see what today has in store.
Yeah.
Happy trails.
Happy trails.
If you look real close, you can see lines for the maple syrup coming from the trees. And we're headed up, 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 up. We've had it like this several times today. Some of these areas are taller than me. Whew. There's a little bit more to go. Well, we're closing day 49, but
That's a pretty neat little gadget right there.
Yeah. It's not day 49. As I was putting things together yesterday, I realized we didn't close out day 49, so we're going back in time.
Yeah. So imagine that the behind us is completely different, because the day that we're wrapping up, it is completely different than where we are right now. But
we started at Wise Pine Hostel, the rural place.
Yes.
The rural place.
Yeah, it was a great place to stay, all right. But one of the things about it was when you checked in, you got sort of a little book that said this is all the stuff that you had to do.
These are the rules that you must follow.
And we really were looking forward. We wanted to spread out our stuff.
The couple that owns it are wonderful.
They're great, and the accommodations were fabulous. Shower was great. Lots of hot water.
Their pack room, where you're required to keep your pack, is not big enough if they're going to have the rules that they have in place. Because we wanted to take our packs apart, and you could only have one person in the pack room at a time because it was so small.
But
anyway,
it was great. It was a good place to stay.
So from Wise Pine Hostel, they shuttled us back to trail. We got off.
And you found the smart bottle when we came back.
We lost a smart water bottle, and we found it when we drove back into the parking lot.
Right at the bridge, I guess it was.
So we came back to Vermont Route 12, and we had a lot of views that day.
Yeah, and not only that, we met a lot of other hikers that we hadn't tea time. We met.
We ran into some hikers that we had seen before, so it was nice visiting and chatting about what all was going on.
Yeah.
Early in the day, we had water, but then it was a drought.
No, this is earlier on the day after the treetop shower or shelter or hostel.
So there was water right where we got on, but it was coming from fields, from farmland, and so we had cameled everything up when we got there, so we were good for water starting out. We stopped at the Thistle Hill Shelter.
Met a new hiker there, Hopper.
Actually, we'd met him before, but got to talk to him again. He's interesting, physical therapist and section hiking, and he's doing
also
crazy big miles.
He's Tennessean too.
Yeah,
he lives in Knoxville.
We stopped at the Thistle Hill Shelter and talked to Hopper, but there was no water there, so we continued on.
It was just sort of a rest your back break.
We went through, after the Thistle Hill Shelter, we crossed quite a few fields.
Yeah, there were a couple of times where
they weren't fields like cornfields or wheat fields. They
like
were
tall grass.
monarch butterfly areas that you're not. I guess they're not allowed to cut anything, and so as we're walking through, there were a lot of areas that were way over my head. And let me get that where it's not catching the sun so much. That all the stuff was way over my head, and so I was walking through with my sticks crossed in front of my face, and to keep it from hitting me.
There were a couple of times I thought I'd lost you.
Yeah. Sorry. But you go through it for, I mean, there weren't real long periods of time. I think the longest one was probably a tenth of a mile. Most of them were less than that.
Now,
and we did go through some fields that were longer, but they weren't.
A lot of these places, though, they were not.
Yeah, I guess some of them were about a quarter of a mile.
We've gone through a lot of fields like that, and it'd just be just so hot. And this was, it was really sort of.
It was still warm.
It was warm, but it wasn't what it had been.
No. So we did get through those, and it's like when you get out of the field, it's like you're looking all over. Are there ticks? What kind of bugs or spiders have I picked up on the way? Once we got down out of the mountains, we came into West Hartford, Connecticut. I keep saying Connecticut, Vermont. West Hartford, Vermont. And we walked a real short distance across a bridge. And we had been planning on staying at Captain Stasher's house because he allows hikers to stay in his backyard. And we saw to the right of the bridge another house that had several
doing pretty much the same thing,
tents in the backyard. So we walked up to that house because we didn't. Were we at Captain Stasher's? I didn't know.
And as it turned out, there were a bunch of hikers that were at this house. That's Linda's house. I don't know what Linda's last name is, but she's absolutely fabulous. But anyway, I walked up to the front door and knocked on the door, just sort of to ask permission to to set up our tent, and Alice and I think it was Audrey came and answered the door and for their grandmother, and told us where we could camp that night, set up our tent and whatnot, and they gave us right off the bat.
They came out and asked me, "Did I
would
want
you like
Coke
a Coca-Cola
or cherry
or
Coke
whatever?
or Diet Coke?" And they
And
brought
it
me
just-
out an ice cold one and cherry Coke, and they were very friendly, very nice.
And we walked around, and then our friends are behind there, and so we talked a little bit.
There were 7 tents total
Mm-hmm.
in her backyard that night. After we got there, we worked on setting up our tent, and then we sat around while our food was cooking and chatted with Swede and Singapore.
Right.
We got that was a big day for us. I know we said we were going to back down our miles, but we had to get into West Hartford because of the water situation. Before we got to the road walk, there was a crossing where somebody had left a water stash. So we had a little bit, we're able to get a little bit more water. But we still did 13.7 miles because we couldn't tent anywhere.
There was no place to.
Because if we did, we didn't have water to cook that night, or we didn't have water to cook the next morning. So it ended up being a big day for us. And as far as elevation gains, we gained 3,500 feet. So it's not like it was, you didn't need to be hiking without water. You needed to have water. No. And we descended 4,000 feet, which it's a little bit easier. You're not feeling like you need to drink all the time going down the hills. But it was a great day.
Yeah,
it was a beautiful
day.
weather. Beautiful weather.
And again, thanks to Linda and her grandchildren and for being such wonderful hostesses.
And the unknown trail angel that left a water cache at the road. That was a blessing.
Really, yes, it was.
But so that was it for day 49, and but it was a great day.
I guess it's time for
Happy trails.